Alright, bros. Let me let you guys in on a little story of when I got my wisdom tooth pulled out. So it was a hot summer day, just like any other day in June. And it turns out I realized I had a dentist appointment the following weekend. You know, just a regular dentist appointment. You go in, they stab the living dog shit out of your gums and they start bleeding. You know, all that fun stuff. And you know how before they start like stabbing your gums and all that, they have to like take an x-ray of your mouth or whatever. So they like shove this plastic thing in your mouth. Pause. But they make you chomp down on this like little plastic thing. They put this x-ray camera thing right by your mouth. And then they like run to the other side of the room. Like they just planted a nuclear bomb. Now they're taking cover. But after they took the x-ray pictures and all that, the x-rays appeared on a computer like right next to me. So the dentist, she looked at the pictures, and I'm not gonna lie, I was being a little nosy, just like kind of poking my head through, see what's going on. And then she just kind of looked at a certain picture and was like, just was staring at it. I was like, well, what's up? Like, what's wrong? So she basically looked at me and was like, yeah, you got two big ass wisdom teeth on both sides at the top of your gums. And the wisdom tooth that's on the left side is just crooked as shit. That bitch is just laying in there sideways, kind of like a failed Tetris placement. So with her saying all that, she did her thing, poked the gums, made him bleed, whatever, flossed, did all the stuff that a normal dentist would do. And at the end, to summarize everything she said, she basically told me, I got two options. Option A, I can just leave the wisdom teeth there and not give a fuck about it. But the problem with that option is that it's going to push against the other teeth. And if I leave it there long enough and it ends up like pushing the living shit out of the other teeth, I'm going to end up having some teeth looking like a damn crocodile. Or option B, I can get it removed at a certain date. So I was with my dad at the time at the dentist, and both of them basically recommended that I get those two wisdom teeth pulled out. So I was like, alright, fine, I'll just get them removed. We set up a specific date for an appointment to get them removed, and then forgot about it. I'm pretty sure the appointment, if I remember, was scheduled an entire year later from that day. So I was chilling. I did not give a fuck. Like, a year is a pretty long time, so you end up forgetting things, not caring about them. But just like a school project due date that's slowly creeping up towards the deadline, you can't exactly ignore it forever. So as time goes by, it's like I blinked and then a year has gone by. And before I know it, the appointment to remove my wisdom teeth is already in a couple of days. So at that point, I was starting to get, just a little bit anxious, a little nervous. So I was like, all right, let me turn on the laptop. Let me see what's up, how they do it. See what kind of painful process I'm about to go through in the next couple of days. Because that's what I kind of like to do. I just like to mentally prepare myself. Or kind of like hype myself up. Kind of like if I'm preparing to hit a new PR in the lift or something. Or in that one episode of SpongeBob where both of them like ripped off their shirts ready to fight each other. Like I'll do some crazy shit like that just to kind of hype myself up and mentally prepare myself for the amount of sheer pain and suffering I've had to endure. But anyways, back to the bullshit. So I was on my laptop looking up how the process and everything was, how you get your wisdom teeth pulled out. And it turns out that they inject this drug called anesthesia to knock you the fuck out. Like you are like just to knock you clean the fuck out. I'm talking like a Mike Tyson right hook to the freaking jaw on the ground knocked out. And then what they do, they'll take like a little saw, cut the tooth, extract it. You wake up in pain, not knowing what happened. It's all good. So now that I have contained this new piece of knowledge inside my brain, I am somewhat just somewhat comforted by the fact that I will at least be asleep when the procedure happens. Can't imagine being awake when they slice into my gums and I start squirming like a little fish out of water or something. Bro, if that was the case, they would have to tie my ass down to the fucking chair on some fucking Tai Lung prison type shit from Kung Fu Panda where they have chains on each hand connected to two big ass boulders trying to stop him from moving. They would have to do some shit like that to get me to stay still. But anyways, as the days led up to the actual appointment date, I still can't help to feel like just a little bit nervous. You know how when you prepare for something so much, you like practice or just mentally prepare yourself or just rehearse or whatever you have to do to prepare for a certain event, but you still get that feeling of nervousness? But fast forward a couple of days, now it's the actual appointment date where I get my wisdom tooth removed. Those couple of days went by fast. Like, those couple of days were gone faster than my popcorn at the movie theater. Like, it was gone before you even know it. So I drove to the dentist, checked in. They made me sit down and wait in the lobby for what felt like an eternity. But they finally called me up. And when I entered the room where the operation was going to take place, it looked like the chair in which I had to lay down in for them to do the procedure looked exactly like how I would imagine the death penalty chair would look like, which of course did not exactly help my nervousness, but you know, I'm not a little bitch, so I laid down in the chair, and dude, let me tell you, this chair was sticky as fuck, bro. Like, I couldn't tell if it was just my greasy ass sweat from like all the anxiousness or they just haven't cleaned it in a while. But at this point, I couldn't be bothered to give a fuck. So after I laid down on the chair, I quickly asked a question to the lady that brought me into the room. So I basically asked her, when am I gonna receive the knockout drug or whatever, so that way I'm unconscious? And she told me, oh no, your procedure does not require that. Since your wisdom teeth are growing on the outside of your gums, you can be fully awake during the operation. We're just gonna numb that area in your mouth and you'll be all set. And I was just looking at her like, what? Shit just got real quick. So I couldn't really say much after that. She quickly left the room to go grab something, I didn't know what, and I was just kind of contemplating on my life choices to what led up to me making this decision to get my wisdom teeth pulled out. But I would say about 5 minutes later, she comes in with a tray. And on that tray is this big ass fucking Hercules needle. This needle looked like something out of like that one scene in Monsters vs. Aliens where they shot that big ass needle into that guy's foot and he screamed like a little bitch. That's what that needle looked like, bro. She shoved that needle in my mouth and injected some mystery juice and then dipped. I was just sitting there in the room by myself, waiting for about, I'd say, half an hour. I guess that she wanted to let the numbing juice kind of settle in. But I soon realized that I forgot to ask her, since I was going to be awake during the operation, how exactly is the wisdom tooth going to be removed? Like, are they going to slice into my gums on some fucking Ghost of Tsushima type shit, taking a fucking blade and slicing your flesh open? Like, I had no clue at this point. Yeah, I was just taking guesses. I was like, no way they're gonna do it like the old school way where they just rip that bitch out. Right? So I was sitting there with my brain damn near about to explode out of my head. And finally, the other dentist, who's actually gonna perform the operation, comes in with another tray, a mystery tray. Now, this tray was kind of covered, so I couldn't see what was inside, but At this point I didn't even want to know. But the curiosity kind of got the better of me. So when he opened like the cover of the tray, I see 2 pliers. At this point, I already know what's going to go down. I'm just straight up hyperventilating at this point. Well, not actually. Well, inside I was. Now, mind you, the numbing medication that she gave me with that big ass needle, it still felt like it didn't fully kick in. Because I can still sort of feel some feeling of feelingness, if that makes any sense, in my mouth. So, not really sure why they're starting the procedure now, but I guess we're going balls deep into it now. You know, there's no turning back. It's just like missing the exit on the highway. You can't just all of a sudden just turn back. Nah, you in it to win it at this point, bro. The dentist grabs the pliers, and I kid you not, this guy's hand was strong as shit. I'm talking veins popping, Incredible Hulk ass, Tom and Jerry blow up fist hands. So he tells me to open wide, like a fucking 5-year-old getting spoon-fed some shitty ass cereal from their parents. Here comes the airplane. Anyways, that guy shoved the pliers in my mouth, locked onto the left wisdom tooth first. He clamped down and started pulling. At this point, I was ready to turn Super Saiyan, jump out of this chair, flip this bitch over, and make a run for it. But I didn't. So I was laying down on that chair, taking it like a champ, damn near about to have a fucking heart attack. And as the left wisdom tooth was about halfway out, it started hurting like a bitch, bro. Clearly the numbing medication wasn't working, or it just didn't fully kick in. The dude completely ripped out the tooth. He put it on the table and said, "Oh, there's actually not that much blood." I look down, all I see is just like a pool of redness, bro. A scene straight out of a fucking horror movie, bro. My mouth was in excruciating pain. It felt like I just got hit with one of those finishing combos in Street Fighter or something. But before I can mentally recoup, bro went back in for the right wisdom tooth this time. And he clamped down, pulled on it, completely ripped it out. And I actually didn't feel a thing on this one. I don't know, maybe the numbing medication gods just blessed me and said, you know, we'll take it easy on him for the right wisdom tooth, but for the left one, he's just gonna go through complete hell. So that was it. The operation actually ended a lot faster than I thought it would. The lady dentist assistant person then put the freshly pulled out wisdom teeth in a plastic bag, like it's Halloween trick-or-treating time, and gave it to me and said, "Here you go." I took the bag, got into my car, drove home, and I looked in the mirror, and my face was puffy as shit. I looked like Patrick Star after he just got done munching on some Krabby Patties, bro. But anyways, here's a picture of me after the procedure. Now, I'm not exactly sure what you're allowed to show on YouTube and what you're not allowed, so I'm just gonna censor out, like, the teeth in the bag, but, you get the idea. So yeah, that was pretty much the story about how I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. Now, if you searched for this video, chances are you're probably gonna get your wisdom tooth pulled out soon. So, good luck, cause it hurt like a bitch, bro. It's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, bro. It's gonna hurt, bro. It's gonna feel like someone's taking a damn sledgehammer and whacking you right in your damn mouth. But let me tell you, after that procedure, I basically had to drink my food for the rest of the day. My jaw hurted so bad, I was like, ooh. But best of luck to anybody who has to get their wisdom teeth pulled out or has any big event today.